I'm so glad to be here today. I wish I was looking at all of you in the eye while you're out in the crowd, but you're not. You're out there, virtually out there watching me, and I'm glad you're tuning in today. It's been quite a different year, huh? And what a journey this has been. So here's a song that I wrote about that wild, crazy journey that we're all on. I wrote that on the front seat between my mom and dad. My sister and me in the back seat, we're acting up so bad. We'd head out in the summer and out Chevrolet. It was hot, fights would start, and then my mom would say, if you don't love the journey, you're missing the best part. If you can't enjoy the ups and downs, you best not even start. At least we're all together, heading the same way. That's what you remember when you look back on the day. If you don't love the journey, you're missing the best part. Kitchen table between us, straining my wife's eyes. They're cutting back on the work downtown upstairs, our baby cries. I reach across the table and I put my hand in hers. I fight back the fear inside and remember Mama's words. If you don't love the journey, you're missing the best part. If you can't enjoy the ups and downs, let's not even start. At least we're all together, heading the same way. That's what you remember when you look back on the day. If you don't love the journey, you're missing the best part. It really doesn't matter where you're going. Life's a hard and certain road. It's people you love that make the difference, and how you share the load. If you don't love the journey, you're missing the best part. If you can't enjoy the ups and downs, let's not even start. At least we're all together, headed the same way. That's what you remember when you look back one day. If you don't love the journey, you're missing the best part. You gotta love the journey. So if you were here, that'd be when everybody would start clapping. But since nobody's here, it's kind of quiet in here. So once again, I'm glad you're tuning in. If you get a chance, we need you guys to bid. We need you to donate to the Humane Society. We're going to try to raise $75,000 this year. And I think we're going to do it. So with your help, we're going to do it. Right now, I'd like to do a song for you. This is a song I wrote. I wrote this for my mom. And, during this crazy time, I hardly can't talk about anything else. I should, but it's funny about the people that you missed right now. You wish you could just go visit them, you could hug them and spend some time with them. And a lot of times you can't. So this is a song about the person that I would most like to go visit and give her a big hug, but I can't. So this is for my mom. It goes like this. I wake up to the smell of Biscuit's bacon. Her sweet voice fills the morning air. My uniform is clean for the gate. She promised she'd be there as I ride my bike to school. I look back as she waves goodbye. Oh, I wish I'd said I love you just one more time. with an old guitar and a list of songs. All I own is packed in my car. She says you'll always have a home right here. You don't have to be a star. I head out on my own as the tears fall from our eyes. Oh, I wish I'd said I love you just one more time. Just one more time. One more time. Oh, I wish I'd said I love you just one more time. Now I sing the gift she gave me on the road 1,000 miles away. I call Mom on the phone because I'm thinking of her today. We catch up on what's new, and as I hang up the line, oh, I wish I'd said I love you just one more time. Just one more time. One more time. Oh, I wish I'd said I love you just one more time. Oh, I wish I'd said I love you just one more time. Once again, that's where we clap, hopefully. A song I wrote for my mom years ago. It's a song I wrote on the first Mother's Day I was ever separated from her. And I called her on the phone and told her Happy Mother's Day and told her that how much I loved her. And because I always do. But when I hung up the phone, it just felt like I wish I could have said it. I needed to do something more. So that's when I wrote that song. So for about 3 months, I was completely quarantined. I'm sure a bunch of you guys were. So with my immediate family, my wife and my 2 boys, and we had a great time homeschooling and all the stuff you do, so music lessons and all that kind of stuff. But I have to tell you, I'm really, really fortunate in that I was quarantined with the love of my life, and so it made the time go very quickly, and it made it a really great experience instead of a sad experience. So there's a song I wrote for my lovely bride. It goes like this. I've loved and lost in this life so many times. The hope that once was so bright no longer shines. Then at last I found you, built my world around you, restored the faith to this lonely heart. You're the love that I've longed for, baby, take my hand. I've lived enough to know and finally understand. Every stumble, every tumble, every heartache of the past tells me it's true with you. I've saved the best for that. Get back in the game. Friends always ask me why. Don't you take another chance before love's passed me by. But this heart was bruised and battered. Nothing seemed to matter. Now when I'm with you, friends say, look, there's that lucky guy. You're the love that I long for, baby, take my hand. I've lived enough to know and finally understand. Every stumble, every tumble, every heartache of the life tells me it's true with you. I've saved the best for last. Yes, I've saved the best for last. Yes, I've saved the best for last. Baby, it's true with you. I've saved the best for last. You're the love that I long for, baby, take my hand. I think my wife would like that one. So one person liked it out there. I'm glad about that. Let's do one more tune before we get on with a little bit more business for the day about raising money for a really good cause. Let's do one. I think several of you out there tuning in will know this song, and if you do, sing along with me, okay? I was sitting in my pickup truck south of Wichita Falls. A line of traffic up ahead, roadwork's got them stalled. I was fishing, I was home again, when a road sign caught my eye. Up the way, just 15 miles, was a town called Paradise. And I watched the people working on that highway hot as hell. Everyone in blazing sun with a story they could tell. Lisa is a flag woman, she makes the car slow down. She looks good in her short shorts and her legs nice and brown. She was fooling around with Tommy Briggs till her husband shot him down. And now her husband's standing still, and Tommy's on the ground. And she's working on the road to paradise. She's working on the road to paradise. It's a full-time occupation, looking for salvation. She's working on the road to paradise. That's right. Wendell drives a concrete truck, he's a solitary man. Beside him sits his best friend, the floppy hound called Sam. And Wendell married him, folks just wouldn't understand. He lost his true love years ago in a place called Vietnamese. And he's working on the road to paradise. He's working on the road to paradise. It's a full-time occupation, looking for salvation. He's working on the road to paradise. Carlos swings a pickaxe in that killer Texas heat. He waded across that Rio Grande so his family could eat. And maybe by a prayer presents for his baby girl so sweet. If the INS don't find him, boy's job's complete. And he's working on the road to paradise. He's working on the road to paradise. It's a full-time occupation, looking for salvation. He's working on the road to paradise. And I'm working on the road to paradise. I'm working on the road to paradise. It's a full-time occupation, looking for salvation. I'm working on the road to paradise. Working on the road to paradise. Thanks for listening, you guys. Let me give it over to somebody who knows what they're talking about. How about you, Mike? Come on, man.
Thank you, Tim. Tim Sullivan will be back later this evening, so stay tuned. You know, I asked for a teleprompter, but it simply wasn't in the budget, so we're going old school tonight. Good evening, and thank you for joining us, and welcome to the 26th annual auction for the animals benefiting the Humane Society of Pagosa Springs. I'm Mike Stoll. I'm the Executive Director of HSPagosa. You know, COVID-19 threw a big wrench in our plans for this year's live auction fundraising event. We've been forced to step way out of our comfort zone and into new territory to bring you this virtual event tonight. But then so much of this year has been about finding a path through uncharted territory. So tonight is just a continuation of that journey. We will miss not being able to see all of our friends and supporters in person this year. But the beauty of this virtual event is that far more people can attend than ever before because it can be seen by anyone, anywhere. That means all of our donors, all of our adopters, all of our volunteers, all of our supporters can be with us tonight, even if you're not here in Pagosa Springs. It's both gratifying and humbling to have people from so many different places supporting HSPS and the animals that we care for. Thank you again for being a part of this evening. We really could not do what we do without you. Our donors and volunteers are the backbone of our organization. By giving so generously of your time and your money, you help us enrich the lives of nearly 700 animals that enter the shelter every year. No matter how much care an animal needs, no matter how long it takes to get one adopted, we're committed to the well-being of every animal that comes through our shelter. We'll be highlighting a few of the animals that we've helped over the last year or two, so stay tuned for some heartwarming stories that are only possible because of your support. What you may not know is that over the past 5 years or so, 98 out of every 100 animals that enter our shelter leave alive. Unfortunately, some homeless animals that come to the shelter are suffering from terminal illnesses and we simply cannot save them. But for every other animal, we spend whatever time, money, and energy it takes and explore all options available to get each and every one into a loving home. Our shelter truly is a safe haven for animals in need. What you also may not know is that our organization receives no funding from any national animal welfare organizations like Humane Society of the United States, the ASPCA, or American Humane. We rely on generous people like you to support events like this one, to help us raise the funds necessary to provide the quality care that every shelter animal needs and deserves. We'll have a lot of different ways for you to show your support tonight, including an incredible silent auction with great items you can bid on, a fun and entertaining pet fashion show where you can vote for your favorite pets and costumes, and other ways that you'll be able to give as well. Our shelter has directly experienced the burden of economic loss that this challenging year has caused for so many people. And every dollar we raise tonight truly will help more than ever before. Now, I'd like to turn this event over to our MCs and let them introduce themselves and get this virtual party started. So thank you all again for joining in, and have a great evening.
Good evening. This is Richard Miller. I think one of the reasons why the Humane Society asked me to be involved with tonight is I'm probably one of the few people that was here in 1994 for the first one, and I can guarantee you that that was the first year the internet, called the World Wide Web, actually came to be. And many of us had a great opportunity then to be involved with putting on the very first auction. And I'm proud to still be involved with these folks and work with these other two great MCs tonight. I'd like to introduce Jason Cox, who's the owner of Riff Raff Brewing and Riff Raff on the Rio. And Jason last year was the Pagosa Springs Volunteer of the Year. Jason?
Thanks, Richard. Really happy to be involved with the production tonight and very happy to support the Humane Society of Pagosa Springs. We, with our original Riff Raff Brewing Company location, have been across the street from the Humane Society thrift store for over 7 years now, and we really enjoy being in the same neighborhood. I think the first kind of formal exposure we had as a company and a business that supports the Humane Society was walking across the street and trying to buy items that we needed to staff our store, including some stuff for the kitchen, and coffee pots seem to break constantly, so we always have a source over there. We also like to share parking, and you guys have been great partners with us on that. So we're really happy about all the Humane Society programs and are very willing partners, so we're happy to be involved tonight. I would like to pass on our third MC of the night, which is Lauren Zach. She is the HSPS board president, and she's been the president for 6 years, and as well as on the board of directors. She's no stranger to rescue, and she has a zoo of her own at home, which we will get to see a little bit later. Lauren.
Thank you, Jason. My name is Lauren Zach. My husband and I moved to Pagosa Springs 8 years ago, and my first goal was to become involved with the Humane Society. I wanted to become president because I wanted to be able to tell everybody my ideas and have them listen. So I was very happy with that. My rescue efforts began when I was very young. I was the kid who had snakes and frogs and lizards in my mother's bathtub. These animals were not so sure that they were being rescued, but I was pretty sure. My mother wasn't very happy about me having them in the bathtub either. So my rescue efforts really began in earnest when I became a hospice nurse. I had so many patients that needed to find homes for their animals before they died. So I became the person who found the homes for the animals. The patients were then allowed to meet these people and know that their animals were going to good homes. This helped with their passing greatly. After that, I came here and I started adopting pets, and I have 5 dogs, 2 pigs, 2 horses, 2 donkeys, cats, and a few other animals. But I'm very happy to be part of this. And as MCs, we're so grateful to have the opportunity to be part of this event. At this time, we'd like to say a huge thanks to our restaurant partners and event sponsors. Our restaurant partners include Java the Cup, Papa Murphy's Pizza, Thai Pagosa, Riff Raff Brewing, Riff Raff on the Rio, Colorado Roadhouse, The Lost Cajun. They were all incredibly kind and generous this year, donating a percentage of their sales today only to the Humane Society of Pagosa Springs. So if you haven't eaten dinner or you're hungry and want to eat again, please consider supporting one of the restaurants because they will in turn generously support the Humane Society. Our platinum sponsors include Fort Laurie Technical Services, owned by Linda and Duncan Laurie, who have generously supported the auction for the animals the last many years, and the Tennyson Building, Pagosa's new event center, which opened officially this past February. Owner Evelyn Tennyson teamed up with musician Tim Sullivan to bring Pagosa Springs a venue for live music and dancing. The event center is also available for your rental needs. With the ability to entertain up to 150 people, it's the perfect venue for receptions. parties, meetings, and training classes. Check them out at eventcenter.com or call 970-731-3009. Thank you so much to Evelyn Tennyson and the Event Center and Fort Lauderdale Technical Services for digging deep into their pockets and being our top sponsors this year. It will make us a great success. Our diamond sponsor this year is Joan Ward, a loyal and longtime donor of the Humane Society of Pagosa Springs. Thanks so much for your continued generosity and friendship, Joan. We have 2 generous gold sponsors this year, the Pagosa Springs Medical Center and Summer Phillips Goldsmith, who help fund technical support for the event. We appreciate both your donations. We also really want to thank our bronze sponsors, Media Partner, and Wagon Tail sponsors. I want to emphasize that every donation, no matter what size, supports our animal shelter. Thanks so much.
I have to say tonight, we are really feeling supported by these generous restaurant sponsors and all of you turning in tonight. As you can imagine, now more than ever, we need your financial support to do the critical work that we do for our animals and community. When the pandemic started, our entire year in budget kind of went to shelter in place, so to speak. The thrift store downtown in Pagosa that sells the gently used and new donated items to the public at discounted prices had to close. And it's probably one of the more popular stores in town that's happened to. The revenues from the thrift store help sustain our animal shelter, where we provide care for hundreds of lost, abandoned, and orphaned animals each year. Due to the pandemic and the thrift store being closed for over 2 months, while the shelter continued to provide food, shelter, and medical care, and all the animals that desperately needed it and deserved it, the lost revenue from the thrift store being closed created a huge deficit. And that is why your support tonight is so important. We have lots of ways you can share your support this evening.
That's right, Richard. We have an amazing silent auction with hundreds of great items you can bid on. There's no need to bid right now. The auction will remain open for bidding through Monday, August 31st at 5 p.m. So after the show, check out our incredible items by clicking the link Silent Auction section below, and we hope that you'll get a great deal on something while still benefiting the Humane Society of Pagosa Springs. We have opportunities for you to donate specific items on our wish list towards the care of our shelter animals. Things like food, vaccines, spay and neuter costs, emergency medical procedures, and more. As mentioned already, you can grab a bite to eat after the event or before the night is over at one of our local restaurant partners. And a portion of your meal costs will go to the Humane Society. And what everyone is looking most forward to, me included, we have a pet fashion show where you can pay just $5 to vote for your favorite animals and their pets and costumes. The winners will receive prizes and will be announced Tuesday, September 1st, after we close the auction and voting. Voting will remain open after the event tonight through August 31st at 5 p.m. So vote often for your favorites between now and then. Whatever way you can show your support, we really need your donations to get us back on track for funding this year so that we can continue to provide the high quality care that we give our animals in our shelter. If you've never had the opportunity to visit our shelter, we'd love to show you a video and a tour of our facility and some of the animals currently in our care.
Wow. That's awesome. I love seeing all the animals getting to play outside against that beautiful mountain backdrop. It's amazing.
Yeah,
And that
oh,
baby, yeah, that baby with the kittens, pretty freaking cool right there. At this time, due to COVID, the animal shelter is open to the public by appointment only. With the shelters continuing to take in animals, serve the community, and doing more adoptions than ever. As always, the staff works tirelessly to keep its animals safe, happy, and healthy during these unprecedented times. Richard and Lauren, I know both of you have been connected to the Humane Society of Pagosa Springs for a lot of years, so you of all people can share more about how the organization not only benefits the animals, but also the people in our community. What are some of the other services that the Humane Society provides?
So, Jason, in addition to providing a safe haven for almost 700 animals every year, there's many ways we support our local community as well. We offer multiple spay and neuter programs, which help prevent the burden of unwanted litters of cats and dogs and help reduce crowding in the animal shelter. Our Fix It Free program helps low-income pet owners by paying the entire cost to spay or neuter their dog and cat. And our Spay Aid program pays a portion of the cost for those just needing some financial assistance. These programs fund the spay and neuter surgeries of more than 150 communities members, dogs and cats each year. The Humane Society also pays the entire cost for a spay or neuter for every intact shelter animal before it can be adopted, which averages another 262 surgeries a year.
That's amazing. I had no idea that the shelter offered so much financial assistance for spay and neuter surgeries and other procedures. What a great way to limit the overpopulation of cats and dogs in the community and make sure that all animals are placed and wanted.
Yes, our spay and neuter programs really help the cat and dog population under control here. But we really need donations from our supporters to help fund these vital surgeries. A gift of just $50 will pay a portion of a spay surgery at our shelter. So please, give now if you can. And by the way, that's not all the Humane Society does for the unowned and unwanted animals in Archuleta County. We have a trap, neuter, return program. Every year, the Humane Society of Pagosa works with community volunteers who generously give their time and help to trap feral animals and free-roaming cats. The Humane Society then pays to get the cats examined by a vet, vaccinated against rabies and other feline viruses, and then spays and neuters them. We give them time to recover in the safety of our shelter before returning the cats back to their outdoor location. If they're kittens or less feral, we will take them in and socialize and then put them up for adoption in our shelter. You can imagine how beneficial this is. Every year, we started our program and we have trapped 190 unowned cats each year. And since we started the program in 2011, more than 1,500 feral and free-roaming cats have been spayed or neutered, preventing thousands of unlittered, let's try that again, thousands of litters of unwanted.
Prevent them from becoming litter, for sure. So that's incredible. I mean, I appreciate how much our local Humane Society does to limit the number of unwanted animals in the shelter each year. I know a lot of times shelters get overwhelmed with a tsunami of kittens in the spring and summer seasons. I'm sure trapping, neutering, and returning these cats makes a huge impact on the number of unwanted kittens in your shelter each year. The spay and neuter programs really seem to help contain an overpopulation of dogs as well.
Yeah, it really helps out, but unfortunately, we still see a significant number of cats, kittens, and puppies in the shelter during the baby season. But fortunately, with the TNR program, spay and neuter services, and volunteer foster homes, we're not totally overwhelmed to the point of needing to turn away any animal in need. Our shelter staff does the most incredible job of providing the care, shelter, food, and probably more importantly, love and touch to each and every animal it deserves and finding it a forever home.
Yeah, I know a lot of people love having pets, and pets often become part of the family. And as with all family members, accidents happen, illnesses can occur, and those things can be financially draining, especially during these difficult times when people have job loss or they've had their hours cut, some other kind of economic hit. Do you offer any type of veterinary care assistance to people in our community for their animals?
Great question. Every year we see unfortunate circumstances where an animal requires an emergency procedure and the owner may not have the funds to care for it. We partner with our local veterinarians to make sure each and every animal gets the care and treatment it needs, even if the owner can't afford it. We help pay some of the costs of unforeseen veterinary emergencies for lower income community members. The financial assistance costs the Humane Society close to $6,000 annually and supports nearly 45 pets a year. Veterinary assistance help cost the cover of x-rays, broken bones, soft tissue injuries, treatment for disease, and dental infections.
For such a small community organization, it's incredible to hear how much you all have going on. It's amazing what an organization can do and provide when it has so much community support behind it. And as a local community member and business owner myself, I'm so grateful for the service that the Humane Society of Pagosa Springs provides for all our local animals and for the community itself. Thank you.
No, actually, it's thank you. We're incredibly fortunate to have so many generous donors and volunteers and community partners who share our passion in helping animals in need.
I agree, Richard. Our restaurant partners and event sponsors are a great example of people helping people, or in this case, people helping animals and people. We are so hopeful that every single person watching tonight will do the same, that you will dig deep and make a donation towards our spay and neuter programs, our veterinary assistance services, or if you can't afford that, even just bring a bag of dog food in or some toys for our cats. Every single dollar makes a difference. Speaking of the Humane Society helping people, I also want to mention a couple other programs we have to offer. We have a pet aid to seniors that provides pet food to low-income seniors who otherwise might not be able to keep their pet and have sufficient food for them. We also have a pet food bank that provides pet food to the community members who are facing unanticipated financial hardship and who may be temporarily struggling to provide food for their family pets. Needless to say, we keep busy here at the Humane Society of Pagosa Springs, and our community programs are designed to help humanely control the number of unwanted dogs and cats in the community, and to help individuals or families keep their beloved pet when hardships might otherwise force them to give them up.
It makes so much sense, and I love hearing about all the programs and services that you all are offering. But really, there's no better testament to that work that you guys are doing than the heartwarming stories of the animals and the people directly impacted by the individual donations you guys receive. This is Marty. Marty was transferred to us from an out-of-town shelter because there was concern that a former abusive owner would try to regain access to him if he stayed in that location. Marty is a pit bull and was not well socialized, so one of our volunteers spent hours with him, feeding him chicken almost daily and gaining his trust. He was taken into that volunteer's home as a foster dog to learn social behavior as well as how to play with other dogs. Marty turned into a loving companion and was adopted by an experienced owner after spending 11 months with the HSPS. He now loves to play along the river and splash on the rocks. Good job, Marty.
And here we have Monica and Marlene, sisters. These two were among 20 cats that had to be rescued from a hoarding situation and spent a year at the shelter. All the cats that came to the shelter had various infections and diseases. Every one of them got adopted, and these two were the last remaining when Phil, our board treasurer, decided to adopt them. Monica and Marlene were small kittens that had serious eye problems. One of Monica's eyes was actually even out of the socket, couldn't be saved, so we paid for an emergency surgery to perform to remove it. Both kittens struggled with nearly losing sight, and although their vision is still impaired, they've managed to grow into beautiful, adventurous cats who love to explore. It is thanks to our emergency medical fund that we were able to provide the veterinary care these kittens desperately needed. Our board member, Phil, decided to adopt both of them, bonded girls, to join his many rescue animals at home, and they have flourished under his loving care.
This is Buddy. Buddy was born at our local landfill, one of 3 feral puppies trapped and brought to the shelter. All the puppies were very wary of human contact, but Buddy was the shyest of them all and would hide in the back of his crate in his shelter kennel. One of our volunteers took a special liking to him and spent hours sitting by his kennel, talking to him quietly, offering him special treats. Every day, Tony, our volunteer, would bring a plain McDonald's cheeseburger and sit with Buddy to help him warm up to human interaction. They became so bonded that Tony fostered Buddy and eventually adopted Buddy. Buddy is now a regular visitor to our dog park along with his dog pals and is happy and well-adjusted.
Awesome. Well, now we have Max, or Meatloaf, as we affectionately called him in the past. He was left outside the shelter in a box and weighed a whopping 22.7 pounds. He maybe had 2 cheeseburgers. He was left with a note that his owners couldn't take care of him and that he might. We immediately tested him for diabetes, which thankfully was negative, but his weight had caused serious mobility and breathing issues. One knee was twisted and not bearing his weight, and he had not been neutered. Max needed to be put on a diet before any of his issues could be addressed, or he would be in jeopardy under anesthesia. Max was placed in a foster home on a special diet to lose weight and gently exercise. Eventually, his knee was repaired. His hip also needed surgery, so after he recovered from knee surgery, he went on to the hip surgery, and then he was neutered. Lots of surgeries there, but at last, Max was ready to be adopted. And whom, of all people, adopted him? His foster mom, of course. She just could not imagine life without Max, and we lightheartedly joke that every time a foster parent adopts the animal they foster, it's called a foster fail. All in all, though, it was 13 months of medical care for Max that was covered completely by HSPS, and he is now a happy boy, able to live the life he was destined to fulfill.
So this one is about Haas. Our staff works tirelessly to find adoption options for our shelter animals. I had to almost not start this because I was thinking about Max, better known as Meatloaf, and I was thinking, you know, when he was young, I wonder if they said he was just big boned. Anyway, we use several adoption online sites to reach as many people as possible. Nearly 1/3 of our adopters come from outside our area, and 1/4 of those folks actually travel from out of state to adopt at our shelter. Our recent adoptee, Haas, is a great example. He had been surrendered to the shelter because he was not a good fit in his previous home. Haas was spotted online by a wonderful couple from Ohio who saw him and just knew he was the dog for them. They sent in their application with excellent references and made the decision to drive all the way from Ohio to Pagosa Springs to meet Haas face to face. It was love at first sight for all, and Haas hit the road with his new mom and dad for a trip across America. Now he's a spoiled member of their family and has taken over the couch.
The couch might be the biggest mountain he's seen in Ohio.
Yeah.
This is Elvis. He's another cross-country adoptee. Elvis was a very matted stray cat, and a wonderful woman found him, took him to the vet, got him examined, and has Matt shaved. At the same time, the Humane Society paid for Elvis to be neutered. Then he was brought to the shelter for further care. Once he was up to date on his vaccines, he was put up for adoption on our site. A couple from the East Coast saw him and knew that that was the cat for them. They applied, were approved, and they flew all the way from Maryland to adopt him. He is now renamed Indy and is the light of their lives.
Wow.
What a
Beautiful
cutie.
kitty. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, even though the Humane Society of Pagosa Springs mainly focuses on cats and dogs, every once in a while something a little bit different comes our way, and we step up to help. This spring, we were made aware of a blind baby goat that was no longer wanted by its owner. We found a temporary foster home for the goat until we could arrange a more permanent solution, And within days, we transferred the blind goat to a rescue organization dedicated to helping farm animals in need of a place to call home. In the last year, we've also partnered with one of our board members who does parent rescue. We place unwanted birds into her permanent and loving home. So whether it's a goat, horse, pig, bird, or any other type of animal in need, we use our local partners and do our best to make sure every animal, regardless of type, gets the proper care it needs and that it finds its forever home.
So these were just a handful of the many success stories we've seen when animals and people come together to find love, trust, and companionship with each other. We really need each and every one of you to dig deep to help us reach our goal of raising $75,000 tonight so that we can weather the financial storm in COVID's wake and continue to offer a safe haven for the close to 700 animals we serve every year. Your support will help us find forever homes for deserving cats and dogs.
Yes, Richard, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to raise money tonight to support our organization. Please, if you can donate anything at all, please do. And now for the entertainment we've all been waiting for, the pet fashion show. If you haven't figured out how to donate to the Humane Society, here's a great way to show your support. 20 owners and their pets have generously donated their time, energy, and creativity to put some amazing costumes together in support of the Humane Society. They will be strutting their stuff on the virtual catwalk to help raise money for our animal shelter. Here's where you come in. For just a small $5 donation, vote for your favorite pet of the show. You can vote many times, so don't be discouraged if you have multiple favorites, and vote multiple times. You can also stuff that ballot box with the same pet, like one of my pets, if you want to give it a boost. Here's how it'll work. Each participant will have 30 seconds to win your vote. At the end of the fashion show, we will show you a screen with photos of the 20 participants in case you don't remember which ones were your favorite. You can jot down your favorites and then vote by simply visiting our auction bid page where you can select your favorite pet and cast your vote for $5. You don't have to vote now, so don't leave the event right now. Instead, vote after the event or any time between now and August 31st at 5 p.m. when voting ends. We'll announce the winners via email on Tuesday, so keep an eye out for the exciting news. Get ready, here we go. First up is my very own dog. I am definitely a foster failure many times over. I dressed him as a biker dude, and that's me strutting my stuff along with him. We're both in Harley gear. Sam was adopted from the shelter. I actually fostered him at 3 weeks old, and of course, after that, couldn't give him up.
Next up, here comes Callie the cat donning her best unicorn costume with Leela supporting her unicorn apparel alongside her. Callie is moving a bit slow at the ripe old age of 20, but she's still got a zest for life and was excited to strut her stuff in support of our animal shelter.
What a beautiful cat.
Yeah. Who's out there looking to adopt a dog?
But, hey, wait, Callie was
so
excited.
Callie still has another costume.
Excited to compete. She decided to wear 2 costumes. One wasn't enough. Is that a black widow? Is that a wolf spider? We're not sure.
Hard to tell, wasn't it? Anyway, could have fooled me. Anyway, so who's out there looking to adopt a dog? Our next 4 contestants are currently shelter dogs. So show them some extra love with your votes and maybe even open up your home to a new family member. There's been a lot of interest in some of these dogs, so don't hesitate to call the shelter to find out if they're still available. Here's Sahara's coming up soon, I think.
Actually, we're on to Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, I better hurry. Here's Sahara, the Australian. We miss Sahara. Go to Cinco de Mayo.
All right. Here, Moab, who's a collie mix, is strutting his stuff in the best Cinco de Mayo costume he could, hoping to win your hearts and get a new adoptive family. That could be you.
All right, now we're a little past the 4th of July, but we still have Scout, who just got adopted, and he found his new forever home, and he's so excited about it, he's patriotically dressed. This husky healer decided, though, that his best angles were only seen when he'd sit still, so he will not be strutting his stuff, but instead he's captivating the audience with his beautiful and intense blue eyes.
And finally, the last dog from our shelter is Callie, our border collie mixed puppy. Callie dressed up for the wrong event. She thought she was going to Dancing with the Stars with Jason Cox, supporting a different local organization, Seeds of Learning. But here she is, dancing into your hearts and winning your votes instead. Callie has lots of energy and will add a ton of fun and joy to anyone's home.
Oh, totally adorable.
All the shelter animals were dressed in costumes made by the very talented Jeannie Limo. Jeannie, thank you so much for taking the time to make incredible costumes for our shelter pets.
Hey, this cute Chihuahua is dressed as a flower girl. Her name is
Chihuahua.
She's working overtime. The costume was sewn really well because with all the shaking, not a single button or flower was lost. She wiggles her tail to get your votes, and she's got a great costume done by Beverly Compton.
Awesome. Well, next here we have Ava. She's a 3-year-old All-American shelter dog that was adopted from our shelter by our very own executive director, Mike Stoll, and his wife, Annie Lincoln. Ava is wearing a sparkly and shapely red and blue costume with a matching headpiece. The costume was again made by our very generous and creative volunteer, Jenny Lima.
Next up is another one of Mike and Annie's rescue dogs, JoJo, a 1-year-old pup who is celebrating the upcoming Halloween holiday a little early. This orange and green pumpkin costume festooned with small spooky creatures was another one of Jeannie Limo's incredible creations. JoJo was also adopted from our shelter.
Jeannie's been busy.
Which just like her dad.
Our 10th contestant is Morgan, a black and tan Chihuahua. He's dressed as a bumblebee. Morgan is a little dynamo at 13 years of age. Morgan was adopted by Nita a few years ago as a senior dog at 10 years old. Nita works at our shelter managing our front desk, and she loves animals.
All right, here comes Biscuit, a Pomeranian mix living his best Colorado life, strutting his cowboy bull riding costume right there. Nita first fostered and then adopted Biscuit to keep Morgan company, and Nita says he's a real lover. Yeehaw!
I think I saw that cowboy in Toy Story. Wasn't that him? All right, who's ready to party? Here comes Chouji, a Pomeranian with an incredibly creative and clever costume. Chouji is headed off to a socially distanced party carrying his 12-pack of beer with the help of his buddy, the horse.
I'm not sure who the designated driver is here.
Good thing they're walking.
Yeah, it looks like they're having a good time with the Dos Equis.
Here comes another Pomeranian named Yoshi. Yoshi looks like he's coming right off the ranch with his cowboy hat and his bucking cowboy on his back. Betty Fenwick, the owner of both these Pomeranians, handmade each costume using recycled materials from her home.
Cute. Ready to go. All right, now we're going to head out to the Zach Farm Menagerie, where we'll be breaking a long line of dog participants and featuring a few unique animals. First up is Miss Kitty the Ballerina Donkey. She's a miniature donkey owned by Lauren and Rick Zach, both serving on the Humane Society of Pagosa Springs board. Look at her dressed as a ballerina and looking so beautiful. She's even wearing little ballerina stockings on her front legs, and she can twist and twirl.
And now for something a little bigger. Gus the horse, accompanied by Lauren's husband and Gus's loving owner, Rick. Gus and Rick are looking awfully tough in their Zorro costumes.
Yeah, I missed the sword somewhere. Is it in there?
What's the view for?
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Well, here's some more flower power with Chay. She's my horse, and she's painted as a hippie chick, showing kind of her California roots. I loved having assistance from my granddaughter, Mo, who helped even paint the horse. Peace, baby.
You guys were heading out to Woodstock on this journey, right?
That's right.
Awesome. All right. Well, next up, we have another dog who's celebrating Halloween just a bit early this year. Otis is a St. Bernard mix who decided to dress as Dracula, and he's owned by Miriam. He looks like a big teddy bear of a dog, but beware the vampire fangs.
I've taken care of this dog. He drools a lot, and it's all blood.
It's the garlic.
Yes.
Right. And yet here's another Halloween celebrity, Grizz, the Great White Pyrenees mix, dressed as, are you ready? Ichabod Crane, the Headless Horseman. Grizz is also owned by Miriam.
Sleepy Hollow.
This next animal is very dear to my heart because he's my big baby. Here's JoJo, my Vietnamese potbelly pig. You'll notice we've titled his costume as Uncooperative. That's because JoJo was not in the mood to wear her sparkly socialite costume. So here's some footage of me running after her to try to dress this pig, yet being totally outsmarted by JoJo. Run away, little pig, run away!
We've all heard of crazy cat ladies. In fact, many of us connected to the Humane Society of Pagosa Springs are those ladies and sometimes gentlemen. But frankly, you've never met crazy until you've met bird people. These folks take the cake when it comes to crazy, and these two crazy bird people have the outfits and the birds to prove it. Actually, in all seriousness, Kimberly, who is our board secretary, and Robson, who is our director of marketing and development, didn't ask for all this craziness. They're just great partners and supporters of the Humane Society, and they're no strangers to rescue themselves. They rescue surrendered, orphaned, and abandoned of all sizes and species. Every single bird in their care is, in fact, a rescue. Thank you so much, Kimberly and Robson.
This looks like a clip from Ace Ventura with all the birds.
It's a clip, all right, that's sure. And now it's time to vote. Don't worry, you don't need to remember which number was your favorite. We're going to show you a photo of all the participants so you can cast your votes to help us pick the top 3 winners that will receive great prizes. Remember, you can vote as many times as you'd like now through August 31st at 5 p.m. After the event, you can come back to this website to find photos of each participant so you can remember your favorites and vote again and again.
You can adopt the dogs that were in the show or any dogs and cats from our shelter by calling 970-731-4771 to make an appointment. Our event is coming to an end, and we've had so much fun, at least we have. Before we say goodbye, we want to also talk quickly about the silent auction because there are so many great items there. You can bid on them, and it all goes to a great cause. For those of you who haven't checked out our online auction, simply click on the link below that says Silent Auction, View Items, and browse through our incredible items and just incredible deals. Just to highlight a few things, we have a pre-owned F-150 truck for those of you looking for a new ride. It's a beautiful truck. We have a safari trip to Africa with a 2-year expiration. So plan your travel anytime between now and 2022. We have a vintage bicycle for 2. We have 4 beautiful native drums to complement your home decor. And for the outdoor enthusiasts, we have great camping gear, including a Yeti cooler, a knife, and 2 stargazing chairs. For the person who has everything, you probably don't have one of these, a carousel horse. Check out all the items, including our beautiful art, jewelry, gift baskets, and gift certificates, and more. Bidding will continue after our virtual event and will end August 31st at 5:00 p.m. You can either bid one time or set your max bid amount so that every time someone outbids you, it goes on to your bid, and it will bid as far as up to the max that you are willing to pay for any given item.
Thank you all so much for watching and giving so generously towards our community's animals in need. And thank you again to our sponsors, restaurant partners, costume show participants, and auction donors. If you missed part of the show or want to watch any part of it again, like our pet fashion show, and again, we will keep the virtual event streaming on this website, www.hspagosa.org, through 5 p.m. on August 31st.
Yeah, and just as a reminder, there are multiple ways that you can actually show your support for the animal shelter tonight and through August 31st. First, simply click on any donation amount next to our video to give a gift amount of your choosing. Second, bid on our silent auction items by clicking on Bid Now in the silent auction section below. Third, you can give a gift from our wish list: food and toys, vaccines, spay and neuter surgery, emergency medical procedures, etc., by visiting the auction page and selecting the item that you'd like to donate. Fourth, pay just over $5 or exactly $5 actually to vote for your favorite costume show participant. You can vote for as many favorites as you'd like, as many times as you'd like, and please show support for all of your favorites. Finally, if you worked up an appetite watching this event, which I know I did, you can order takeout from any of our restaurant partners today, and a portion of that sale will go toward the Humane Society of Pagosa Springs.
For anyone who is a little less tech savvy like myself, feel free to write a check to the Humane Society Pagosa Springs and mail your donations to P.O. Box 2230, Pagosa Springs, Colorado, 81147. Please write auction in the memo so that we know your gift is in support of this event. We can't thank you enough for helping this year's virtual 26th annual auction for the animals be a huge success. If you missed any of the show or you'd like to rewatch any part of the event, we will post a recording of the event at this website, www.hspagosa.org, for your viewing pleasure. We appreciate you and hope to see you as soon as we're able. Don't forget to stick around for more of our local talented singer-songwriter Tim Sullivan, who will be playing a few more tunes for you this evening. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you so much.
All right. You guys are still tuned in. I like that. Thanks. That means you're still hooked up. I'm going to sing some more songs for you, and I'm glad you're sticking around. Don't forget, keep bidding, keep doing those votes at Fashion Show. We're raising money for a great cause, and we're glad you're contributing. We'll make this the best. It's the weirdest year ever, but it's going to be the best year ever because we're going to raise the most money that's ever been raised, right? Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, rolling like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I love, West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home down country roads. All my memories gather round her, miner's lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, beating on the skies, misty taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eye. Country roads take me home to the place I love, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home down country roads. I hear her voice in the morning now, she calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads take me home to the place I love, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home down country roads, take me home to the place I love, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home down country roads, take me home down country roads. I thought I'd do a song that I didn't write. I know you guys didn't know that one. I just heard it on the radio right before we went on air, so I thought, that's the song I should do. Here's a song I wrote for my dad. He was a truly great man, and you'll get a little, if you listen to the words, you'll get a little feel for what kind of man he was. Long ago I read in my Bible, faith in men was always liable to lead your soul astray. Since then I've had many revelations through the fire and temptations. One man showed me the way. He put his faith in love. Love would see him through. Always kind, sometimes tough, the hardest thing to do. Life can get me down, but I can rise above. Somewhere up there I can fly. If like my daddy I would try to put my faith in love. I watched a neighbor treat my dad cruel, an angry fire in search of fuel. The fight could not begin. To the insults dad showed only blindness. He kept on killing him with kindness. Now my dad's his only friend. Put his faith in love, and love would see him through. Always kind, sometimes tough, the hardest thing to do. Life can get me down, but I can rise above. Somewhere up there I can fly. If like my daddy I will try to put my faith in love. Two soldiers, 'cause they know God will help them vanquish their foe. Their hearts are true, but they don't understand. God can't be on both sides, can't they see? If those two warriors can only be as wise and tough as my old man, they could put their faith in love. Love would see them through. Always kind, sometimes tough, the hardest thing to do. Life can get you down, but you can rise above. Somewhere up there you can fly. If like my daddy you will try to put your faith in love. Put your faith in love. Put your faith in love. So listen to a song here. This song I wrote, this is the song, this is my most requested song. And just so you guys know out there, this is a lot of fun for me because I literally have not done a gig in 7 months. I've been quarantined, closed off for a long time. So it's really nice to get out and play a little bit for you and to raise some money for a really great cause. Don't forget bid, don't forget vote. We're gonna make some money for this great cause, okay? So here's that song I was telling you about. This is my most requested song. It's a true story. It's a cowboy story. It happened to a friend of mine. He told me this story and I just wrote it down. They had 3 little young'uns, the oldest was 4. Their rhythm was off, and they didn't need more. So she laid the law down, he heard her say, relief is only a few snips away. Way out in Nebraska, the doctors are few, but the vet was his neighbor. Gave him a clue. He said it's a simple and short operation, so romance has a chance without procreation. The big V gets back your sex life. You best get it done before she's your ex-wife. You'll be glad you did, and when you're standing tall, you may find it's the kindest cut of them all. The vet laid a tray of sharp tools on his chest. He said, hand me the scalpel, and I'll do the rest. We'll give you some whiskey and skip cocaine, a few nips and snips, and you'll feel no pain. He held his breath as he fought back the fear, a fate worse than death, being changed to a steer. But when it was over and he drove out of town, it felt like a picnic with his melons iced down. The big V, it's a prerequisite. You best get it done before she says the heck with it. You'll be glad you did, and when you're standing tall, you'll find it's the kindest cut of them all. Oh yeah. It's a simple procedure, one fraught with terror. You can lose your balance with one small trimming error. And ladies will tell you in a voice sweet and mild, it's probably less painful than birthing a child. So husbands, come listen, take care of your wife, except one small cut or get cut off your life. And young men, take heed, though it sounds kind of crass. You can now plant your seed without mowing the grass. The big V makes all kinds of sense. A severed vast difference makes a vast difference. She'll praise you, she'll crave you, she'll shower you with thanks. She'll be quick on the draw when you're shooting blank. She'll praise you, she'll crave you, she'll shower you with thanks. She'll be quick on the draw when you're shooting blank. Oh, yeah. Like I said, it's my most requested song. And there's like 3 people here, and a couple of them are young men that probably took notes while I was singing that song. I'm glad you paid attention. Very good, very good job. All right, let's see what we got now. It's a song I really like. It's a song by Leonard Cohen. I was reading about the song. He wrote the song, he started writing the song, and he finished it like 4 decades later. And if you listen to the verses, he had many different revelations as he got older. It seemed like he had less answers. The older he got, the fewer answers he had. I heard there was a secret chord David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing Alleluia, 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 Alleluia. Maybe there's a gun, but all I really learned from love is how to shoot at someone who outdrew you. It's not the cry you hear at night, it's not the one you hear at night, it's a cold and it's a lonesome Alleluia, 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 Alleluia. I did my best, but it wasn't much. I couldn't see, so I had to touch. I told the truth, I didn't come to fool you. Even though it all went wrong, I'll stand before the Lord's song with nothing on my tongue but Alleluia, 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 So you know what, I think, guys, thanks for staying hooked up so long. Thanks for listening so long. I appreciate that. And thank you for being a supporter of the Humane Society. Your gifts and your donations are put to great cause, and you know what a great cause it is. And because of you, Humane Society is able to do wonderful things for the dogs and cats in our area. Thank you so much. Keep bidding and keep voting and keep those donations coming. It's a really strange year, but we're going to make this, even though it's really strange and we can't all be together, we're going to make this the best year ever for money raised. That's what we're going to do. So even though we can't all be together, we don't get to see each other in our fancy clothes and all that, which is a lot of fun too. But we're going to make sure that you can donate more because you're not going out for the evening. Okay, donate more, and we'll make this the best year ever. Okay, even though it's the strangest year ever. Thank you for watching, and also don't forget the bids and the votes are good until August 31st. Okay, August 31st, and you can get your money. And, if you get a while here and you decide to donate twice as much as you were going to donate last week, then you can do that by August 31st. Okay, we'd appreciate that. So let's do. It's called tuning. I only do that because I want to sing a song for our great state, and you guys feel free to sing along. And once again, thanks for listening, thanks for donating, thanks for bidding. Keep that money flowing in. We really appreciate it. He was born in the summer of his 27th year, coming home to a place you've never been before. Yeah, but yesterday behind him, you might say he was born again. Might say he found the key to every door. When he first came to the mountains, his life was far away on the road and hanging by a song. But the string's already broken and he doesn't really care. Keeps changing fast, but it don't last too long. It's a Colorado Rocky Mountain High. I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. Shadows from the starlight, softer than a lullaby. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Where he climbed Beetle Mountains, he saw silver clouds below. Might say he found the key to every door. Now his life is full of wonder, and his heart still knows the fears of a simple thing he cannot comprehend. While they try to tear the mountains down and bring in a couple more people, more scars upon the land. It's a Colorado Rocky Mountain High. I've seen it rain fire in the sky. Friends around the campfire, and everybody's high. Rocky Mountain High. It's a Colorado Rocky Mountain High. I've seen it rain fire in the sky. Though it be a poor man, if he never saw an eagle fly. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Rocky Mountain High, Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Rocky Mountain High. Thanks for listening.